Jai Shri Ram. By the grace of Lord Sri Krishna, Lord Sri Ram, Lord Sri Jagannath, we will continue the story of Ramayana, Part 3, The War. Chapter 7, Ravana enters the fairy. If you have not watched the previous chapter of Ramayana, you may go to the playlist or click on the I button on the top so that you can connect the story of Ramayana from the beginning till to this chapter. And if you like the video, you may subscribe it and share to your friends. Chapter 7 is started like this. Ravana saw his bed-raised troops returning defeated. His eyes were crimson with rage and he breathed heavily. He ordered the next of his powerful commanders, Drudhasha, to march out for battle. The demon had faced the gods and Danavas in battle, and he feared nothing. Mounting his jewel encrusted chariot, which had 8 iron wheels that stood as tall as 2 men, he raced out of the city. His voice resounded like thunderclaps as he railed the Rakshasa forces who followed him in the hundreds of thousands. Like the other Rakshasas chiefs before him, he observed numerous ill omens, but he too ignored the portents and rushed towards the monkeys. Another terrible carnage in, in, ensued. Rains of sharp arrows and weapons from the Rakshasa were met with volley of rocks and trees from the monkeys. The combatants fell upon another in a frenzy, each seeking to violently kill his adversary. No mercy was shown in the furious fight. A great dust cloud rose above the battlefield, which screened the sky and enveloped the fighters. They could hardly perceive one another, and monkeys stalk monkeys. They could hardly perceive one another, and monkeys stalk monkeys, while demons cuts down other demons. Soon hundreds of thousands of Vanaras and Rakshasa lay stretched out on the ground, prey for vultures and jackals. Durdhasa exhibited a wide rage. Standing on his chariot, he loses venomous shaft that tore the monkey apart, breaking and routing the rank of Ram's army. Seeing this, Hanuman advanced towards him. Durdhasa immediately showered him with innumerable sharp arrows. But Hanuman received the shaft like a mountain receiving rainfall. Laughing heartily, Hanuman ran at the Rakshasa, causing the earth to shake. With one hand, he took off a great boulder and raised it above his head. As Hanuman stood with the uplifted rock, Durdasa shot crescent-headed arrows that smashed it to pieces. Hanuman laughed again and uprooted an Ashwakarna tree as big as a mountain. He wheeled it around and ran at the demon who was stationed some distance from him. As Hanuman bounded with the tree spinning, he struck down dozens of Rakshasa mounted upon elephants and chariots. Durdasa saw him approaching like a furious tempest and full of trepidation. Began to work his massive bow more furiously. The demon stuck hundreds of fierce looking arrows into the Hanuman's body. As the violent monkey bleed, blade, he appeared like a mountain overgrown with trees full of red blossom. Determining to kill Durdasa, Hanuman shouted, "Victory to Ram!" and rose at Rakshasa with the tree raised aloft. The demon hardly had time to place another arrow upon his bow before Hanuman reached him. The furious monkey brought the tree down onto the Rakshasa head with his full force. Durdasa fell from his chariot dead. The other Rakshasa wailed in despair. They dropped their weapons and fled in all directions, falling over each other and their panic and in panic. Other in panic. The monkeys cheered Hanuman and taunted the defeated demons. Ram and Lakshmana then personally honored the victorious monkey. In the sky, the gods assembled and chanted as furious humans in Hanuman's praise. Hanuman enjoyed the glory even as Vishnu had been killing the demons in days gone by. In Lanka, Ravana was becoming more and more exasperated. He looked at Prahasta, the mightiest of his Rakshasa commanders. I do not see many who are capable of saving Lanka at this crista- critical juncture. O courageous one, apart from you, Indrajit, Kumbhakarna, and myself, there are none who can undertake such a burden. Ram and his troops are indeed formidable, but the fickle-minded monkey will be put to fight when they hear your roar on the battlefield. Oh, Prahasta, not even the mightiest gods could stand before you. Although resolute to fight to the end, the demon kings was began to feel misgivings. There was something exceptional about these monkeys and bears. Some divine force was empowering them. Ravana thought of Ram. No doubt the final battle would be between him and that human prince. The demon reflected upon his moon. Only a human could kill him. Would it be Ram? He recoiled from the thought. This was not the time for fear. The battle must be continued. Ravana urged Prahasta to march out with another numerous contingent. He told the Rakshasa chief to be firm. Even though victory was never certain, it was always preferable for a warrior to die in the battle than in any other way. Ravana asked Prahasta if there was anything he needed. The demon replied, I need only your blessings. Oh my God, oh my Lord, having ever been honored by you with great gifts and kind words, how can I not render service to you when the time has come? Neither wife, son, wealth, nor even life itself is dearer to me than your service. Today the vultures will feast hardly on the flesh of the monkeys. Prahasta walked around Ravana with folded palms and then left for the battle. He assembled a horde of Rakshasas, all eager to fight. In less than an hour of force of over 500,000 Rakshasa was ready. They adorned themselves with garlands sanctified by sacred mantras, put on armor and grasped their weapons. They threw around Prahasta, waiting to depart. The demon commander had the iron procules at the northern gate lifted and The army swarmed out with a great cry. Prost rode at their head in his terrific war chariot, furnished with every kind of weapon and driven by 100 steeds. A large standard of brilliant cat's eyes stone bearing the emblem of a serpent stood in the middle of his jeweled chariot. Prahasta shone like the sun as he charged laughing towards the enemy. Dozens of vultures rose up and began circling anti-clockwise and around Prahasta. A large meteor dropped from the heavens. Clouds rumbled with a sound resembling the bray of a donkey and a shower of blood fell. Prosto ignored the omens and pressed ahead with full speed. He met the advancing monkeys and penetrated deeply into their trunk. They immediately surrounded the Rakshasa and assailed him with rocks and trees. The demon simply shrugged off the missiles without being disturbed. He sent volleys of arrows at the monkey and rode like a thundercloud. His vast Rakshasa force fell upon the monkey troops with shouts of joy. Monkey and demons were again destroyed in large number. Some monkeys were run through with pikes and lances. Some cut down with razor sharp discusses and some hacked to pieces with axes. Still others were carved to death with iron mallets, while others were crushed with a huge mace. The monkeys smashed to thousands of Rakshasa with mountainous cars and trees. They struck down the Rakshasa with their fierce hand and uh, pounded them to death. A tumultuous clamor arose as heroic fighters roared in exhalation or screamed in pain. Prohasta himself caused terrible havoc among the monkeys. He knew that he knew the secret of all kind of mystic weapons and sent arrow in such number that they resembled dark clouds. All around his chariot waves of monkeys fell to the ground, pierced in their vital parts. The battlefield resembled a swelling river with heaps of slain warriors as it banked. Lands and spears its trees and torrent of blood for its vast sheet of water. That river rushed towards the sea of death, sweeping away all in its path. Seeing Prahasta annihilating his troops, the Vanara commanders in chief Nila rushed towards the demon. Prahasta saw Nila approaching and he drew his bow to full strength, released deadly shaft that pierced the monkey. Not minding his wound, Nila took off a tree and struck the Rakshasa as he stood upon his chariot. Prahasta rode in fury and sent hundreds of arrows at Nila. The monkey could not check the shafts and he received them with closed eyes. Nila fell to his knees and brushed himself against the arrow impact. With his mind absorbed in thought of Ram rallied himself. The Banner's chief took off a tree. He brought it down with a tremendous force onto Prahasta chariot, smashing it to pieces and killing the horses. Prahasta clutched, clutched hold of a fearsome iron mallet and leaped down from his shattered chariot. He ran after Anila and a fierce fight ensued at close quarters. Prahasta struck Nila on the forehead with his terrible weapon. Blood flooded in waves from the monkey's head. He hurled a boulder onto Prahas's chest, but unmoved by the rocks. The Rakshasa again lifted his massive iron mallet and rushed at Nila. Even as the Rakshasa closed on him, Nila took off a mountain peak and smashed it onto his head. The demon's head split apart and he fell to the ground, deprived of his splendor and his life. The Rakshasa were thrown into complete confusion. With their commander in chief slain, they did not know which way to turn. The jubilant monkeys overran them and put them to fight. Downcast and defeated, the Rakshasa re-entered their city. Ram and Lakshmana warmly applauded Nila, and then the monkey rested, awaiting the next wave of Rakshasa. Ravana was shocked to hear news of Prahasta's death, his mind tormented with grief and anger. In a anguished voice, he said to his minister, "Our enemy should be held in the highest regard. They have killed Prahasta, who was capable of exterminating Indra's army. It seems it is the time for me to make my appearance at the battle. With a steady stream of blazing arrow, I shall consume the army of monkeys. Today, I will throw down Ram and Lakshman." Ravana looked around at his minister. They cheered his decision and felt encouraged. Now the monkey would surely be crushed. Without losing time, Ravana sent for his chariot honored with asparagus, humans, and conch blasts, and to the accompaniment of beating cattle drums. Ravana mounted his splendid vehicle. He went out of Alankara surrounded by innumerable dark Rakshasas who resembled big mountains. The demon appeared like Shiva in the midst of his ghostly followers. He saw ahead. She saw ahead of him the immense monkey's army springing up with trees and rocks in the readiness to receive them. As the vast Rakshasa army poured from the city, Ram turned to Vibhishana and asked him the name of the principal fighter. Vibhishana named them all and then pointed to Ravana, that one who looks like the Himalaya mountain, who is surrounded by terrific demons with the head of tigers, elephants, camels, and deer, who shines like the sun and is adorned with a blazing diadem. He is the sovereign lord of the Rakshasa Ravan. Ram gazed at Ravana and exclaimed, "There at last is the evil one I seek. I can hardly perceive his actual form, bathed as it is the brilliant influence. Even the gods are not possessed of such brilliance. This demon is accompanied by warriors who seemed entirely unapproachable. Indeed, he looked like death himself, surrounded by fierce and hideous friends. By God, fortune, this wicked demon has come within my sight. Today I shall freely vent my anger that was born from Sita Vadansan." Ravana, Ravana took from his quiver a long arrow with a barbed steel head and placed it on his bow. With Lakshmana by his side, he faced the rapidly advancing Rakshasa hordes. Ravana raced at the head of his army. He carved his way through the monkeys like a killer whale, dividing the ocean waters. Sugriva took hold of a great mountain carg and ran towards Ravana, holding it aloft. As the monkey king approaching the demon, he hauled the mountain top, which was covered in numerous trees, straight at his chariot. Ravana laughed at the mountain sailed through the air. He tore it apart with a hail of golden arrows that resembled a streak of fire. The Rakshasa then took out an arrow resembling a huge serpent and released it for Sugriva's destruction. The arrow stood like Indra thunderbolt and emitted a stream of sparks. He struck Sugriva on the chest and the monkey groaned in pain and fell senseless to the ground. The Sugriva fell. The Rakshasa shouted exultantly. Other powerful Vanaras generals immediately took up cars and rushed at Ravana. They rained down their rocks and trees, but the demon smashed all of them to pieces with his swift arrow. He pierced all of the monkeys with a number of golden shafts bedecked with jewels. The monkey fell down, shrieking and crying out to Ram for protection. Ram heard their cries and he advanced towards the demon, but Lakshmana stood before him and asked that Ram permit him to fight with Ravana first. Ram looked at his younger brother who was eager for battle. He assented to his request but warned him to be on guard. Ravana was no ordinary foe. Lakshmana folded his palms and bowed to Ram, who tightly embraced him. The young prince then moved up and surveyed Ravana fighting the monkeys. As he watched, he saw Hanuman approaching the ten-headed Rakshasa. The fearless monkey shouted at Ravana, "You are proud of your bones. Oh demon, no fear exists in you of gods. Demons, yakshas or gandharvas, but beware, there is danger to you from monkeys. My fist will now expel from your body your very life breath. Try your best to fight with me, for your death is now close. Hanuman raised his fist and moved towards Ravana, who shouted back at him, "Strike me at once without fear, O monkey! Earn for yourself lasting fame. Having seen the limits of your power, I shall immediately destroy you." Hanumana laughed and reminded Ravana of the fight in the Ashoka group and of Aska and the other powerful Rakshasa he had slain. As he spoke, he rushed straight at the demon. Ravana threw a great blow which hit Hanuman on the chest and sent him reeling. But Hanuman regained his balance and wheeling around, he struck the demon with his outstretched palm. Ravana shook like a mountain in an earthquake in the heaven. In the Rishi and Siddhas who were observing the battle shouted with joy. Ravana recovered his senses and called out to Hanuman, "Well done, monkey! Your strength and valor are worthy of my praise." Hanuman replied, that his strength was lamentable as Ravana still lived. Ravana rushed at Hanuman and delayed him another tremendous blow, which sent the monkey spinning away. The monkey then speedily drove his chariot towards Nila, who was standing nearby. Ravana shot thousands of arrows at the monkey's chief. Hanuman shouted after him to come back and fight, but the demons paid no heed. He continued to engage with Nila, who took off a mountain top and hauled it at the Rakshasa. With seven crescent-headed arrow, Ravana cut the rocks to pieces. Nila threw great tree at the Rakshasa one after another. Sal, Ashwakana and mango tree in full blossom flew with speed towards Ravana. The demon loosed sharp arrows that ripped all the tree to shreds. He then covered Nila with a hail of sharp pointed shafts. Nila sprang clear of Ravana's arrow and reducing himself to a very small size, he leapt on to the top of Ravana's standard. The monkey sprang from the standard to the end of Ravana's bow, then onto his diadem and back again to the standard. Ravana blasted with fury upon seeing Nila's insolence. He set an arrow on his bow and charged it with the power of Agnestra, the dangerous fire weapon. Being struck with that missile, Nila fell unconscious to the ground. The monkey was burned all over, but by the grace of his father, the fire god, he was not slain. Ravana then looked around and saw Lakshmana. He directed his charioteer to go quickly towards the prince. Lakshmana saw him approach and called out to him, "Here I am to do battle with you, O king of Rakshasa. Leave aside the monkeys and fight with me." Ravana shouted back, "It is fortunate indeed that you have fallen within my sight. Today you shall meet your end at my hands. Fight with all your strength, O Raghav." Ravana addressed him decisively as a descendant of a powerful king Raghu. "What is the use of your bragging?" Lakshmana answered. "Those who are actually strong do not engage in such talk. O sinful one, I know your valor and power. Stand firmly now and fight, for the hour of your demise draw near." Ravana immediately shot seven beautifully poems arrow at poemed arrows at Lakshmana. The prince instantly responded with the seven of his own arrows, with which struck down Ravana's shafts from the air. Again and again, Ravana released deadly arrows, but Lakshmana caught them all down. The demon was astonished at Lakshmana's speed and skill. He became insane and fired more and more arrows in swift succession. Lakshmana responded with equal numbers. From his fully drawn bow, he shot at Ravana's arrow that shone like fire and flew with the velocity of lightning. Suddenly, seeing an opportunity, Ravana released a celestial arrow that penetrates Lakshmana's defense and struck him on the forehead. Lakshmana reeled and his grip on his bow loosened. Crunching down for only a moment, he recovered his sense and stood up instantly, released an arrow which caught Ravana's bow in two. The prince then shot three sharp pointed arrows which hit the demons on the chest and made him swoon. When the when he regained his sense, Ravana took off from his chariot a huge javelin he had taken from the gods. He hurled it with great force at Lakshmana, and it sped through the air, emitting fire and sparks. Lakshmana struck the javelin with the arrows, but it crossed on and hit him full in the chest. Struck by the javelin, Lakshmana fell down in a faint. As he lay there burning in agony, Ravana quickly ran off to him and attempted to take his captive. The demon violently caught hold of Lakshmana with his 20 arms and tried to lift him, but despite exerting himself with all his power, Ravana was unable to even raise the prince's arms. He fell back in amazement and quickly leapt back onto his chariot. Hanuman, who had been observing the battle between Ravana and Lakshmana, took the opportunity to jump on Ravana's chariot. Wielding his two fists, he struck the demon on the chest, making a sound like a great thunderclaps which filled the four quarters. Ravana fell to his knees, blood flowing from the mouth, eyes, and ears. He lost consciousness and sank motionless to the floor of his chariot. The gods and rishis who witnessing witnessing Hanuman's incredible feast shouted in joy. Feeling anxiety for Lakshmana, Hanuman left aside his dashed foe. He quickly leapt down and gathered up Lakshmana in his arms. The monkey easily lifted the prince, although Ravana, the lifter of Mount Kailas, had not been able to budge him. Hanuman carried the unconscious Lakshmana into Ram's presence. Ram ran his hand over his brother's face. Slowly, Lakshmana come back to consciousness, and Ram said to him, "The demon tried to take you captive, but that sinful being could not lift you. Protected as you are my virtue, I cannot prove his attack upon you. Oh, dear brother, I shall immediately go and destroy this demon." Hearing this, Hanuman folded his palms and asked Ram, "Please mount upon my back and allow me to carry you to Ravana. Fight the demon from my back, even as Vishnu fight upon Garuda." Ram at once climbed onto Hanuman soldiers, and the monkey swiftly went to Ravana, twanging his bowstring and making a sharp sound that reverberated like thunder. Ram called it out to the demon, "Stand, O beast of the Rakshasa! You will not escape today. Soon you will follow the path trodden by your 14,000 followers in Jana, uh, Janasthana." Ravana was seized with anger. He let go hundred of flaming arrows. He struck Hanuman at all over his body, keeping a tight hold on Ram. The monkey bore the arrow without flinching. The energy and vigor only grew as Ravana assailed him. Ram was infuriated by Ravana's attacks on Hanuman. He drew his bow to a circle and fired shafts which tore Ravana's chariot to two pieces. It, its standard wheels, horse, canopy, steeds, and drivers all fell to the ground. Uh, Ram then struck Ravana himself on the chest with arrows that flew with the binding speed. The demon who had withstood Indra's thunderbolt was rocked by Ram's arrow and he dropped his bow. He swooned and lay gasping. Ram took up a crescent-headed shaft and tore off Ravana's diadem, of which he was so proud. Ram did not consider the Rakshasa to be a king in any way. With another arrow, he broke apart the demon's bow. He then spoke to the half conscious Ravana. You are clearly exhausted from the battle, as you are unable to properly defend yourself. It is not right that I kill you this time. Therefore, O violent one, return to Lanka. Once you have rested, come out again and you shall witness my strength in battle. Ravana screamed to his feet. With his chariot shattered, his diadem ripped off, and his bow destroyed. The Rakshasa was a sorry sight. He turned and flew towards Lanka with his vanity crushed. The other Rakshasa followed him, and the battle ceased for the time being. Ceased. Ram and Lakshmana comforted the wounded monkeys, and they all rested, awaiting the return of Ravana and his troops. This is how the battle was going on in the battlefield, and this is how Ravana entered the fairy. Hope you got some information from this chapter 7. If you got some information, interesting information, you may like, comment, share, and don't forget to subscribe. Jai Jagannath, Jai Sri Krishna, Jai Sri Ram.